All right, welcome to another video. In this one, I wanted to go over the price of a bike. This is a Velobuild VBR-168 that I built over the summer. So right now you can see the whole bike. Just as a start, I spent a total of $660 on the frame. That came with the bars and everything. So right now we're looking at the light I have on here. This is from Too Wild. I think that's how you pronounce it. I got it off of AliExpress, and that light I think was like $20. Also, I have their carbon fiber Garmin mount, light mount, that I think I spent $13 on it, and it came with a bunch of different mounts, so I can mount like my bike computer, my light, or GoPro, or whatever else on it. So I guess we could talk about the bar tape. The bar tape on here is from Sinelli. I got it from a local bike shop. It was $24. It works fine. Also, there's a close-up of it if you want to see what that looks like. It's nice, it's comfortable. I have not used like tons of different bar tapes, so I can't really comment on it in terms of durability. Shifters, these are Shimano 105s shifters. I got these and the front and rear derailleur off of eBay for a total of $200. The wheels, they are from a company called CSC. I got them off of AliExpress for $448. They are 55 millimeters deep, 25 millimeters wide external. I think the internal is like 19, and I'm running 28s on them. GP, they're not GP 5000, but they're Continental Grand Sport Race tires. Those tires cost me $71 for the pair. For the brakes, I'm running June Tech brakes. Those cost me, I think it was $168 or $138 for the, yeah, $138 for the brakes. They came with these rotors. I'm thinking about changing out those rotors. They work fine, but I could probably find something a little lighter when they wear out. For the paint, I spent about $38 on paint. This is a duplicolor shift paint. It goes from blue to purple. I have some footage of it. I think I'll throw it in the video somewhere showing the color shift, but I like it. And when it's not like really sunny or you don't have direct light on it, it looks almost like a very dark blue or a black. So it's not noticeable until the light hits it. These bottle cages, again, from AliExpress. I was gonna get plastic bottle cages or aluminum or whatever because I didn't care, but these were very cheap. I got these for, I believe I spent $20 on these from AliExpress, and they hold my bottle. I haven't dropped any bottles as a result. The same with the saddle. I was gonna actually buy a different, much cheaper saddle, like a regular saddle, non-carbon. But I happened to find this. This one cost me around $20 as well, and it's worked well. It's been pretty comfortable, and I don't have any problems with it. It's from a company called EC90. This is my backlight. This is from a company called Rock Bros, again, from AliExpress. It's cost me $20. I like it because it fits on both my bikes. I just undo that strap and it comes off easily. And then it will automatically, like, it can tell when you're slowing down, so it'll come on solid like a brake light. In terms of cranks, the front crank is a 5239, an Ultegra crank I got off of eBay for $121. I'm actually thinking about getting a smaller crank because I barely really have, most of the time I could probably get away with just staying in the small ring. I don't really need to use the big ring because of the terrain I ride on. Rear derailleur, like I said earlier, is 105. I got it with the front derailleur and the shifters for $200. That rear cassette is an 1132 from AliExpress. It works fine. I like the 32 because it makes it easier to climb, but when I switch out my cranks in the front, it might make it even better. Because there are some times when I don't really need the smallest rings on that cassette. The chain I got, again, from AliExpress, is from a company called Z-Race. I think that was $20. Pedals from eBay. Those are Shimano pedals. And that's it for now. So my total build cost, I'll put the number on the screen, but it was under $2,000 to get this all put together. There was a few like miscellaneous things I had to spend money on, such as like cables and things like that. A lot of that stuff I got from Amazon. But overall, under $2,000. I could have done it a little cheaper if I'd spent more time shopping for things and searching for deals, but I wanted to get it done because I wanted to ride it. So it's possible to get a decent bike for under $2,000, full carbon wheels, decent group set.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about my impressions of the VB-168 after having ridden it for about 500 miles. To start, I'll say that this is the only carbon frame I've ever owned or ridden, so consider that when you listen to my opinion. When I was shopping for this bike, I was actually considering buying the VB-086, which I guess is supposed to look like an older SL6, I believe. But I thought that frame looked kind of weird when you got into sizes like my size. I have a size 56. So anyway, after riding it about 500 miles, I'll say the frame, my first impression was definitely that it felt fast and it helped maintain speed a whole lot better than my aluminum Cannondale does. Also, it's definitely stiff. I wouldn't say it's significantly stiffer or significantly different than my Cannondale, but it is stiff and responds nicely. It's also very comfortable. A lot of that may be because I have 28mm tires on it with my carbon wheels, but it's definitely comfortable and you don't have to worry, it's not a jarring ride. In terms of climbing, I've done some climbing on it. I have an 1132 cassette in the back, so climbing isn't too bad. It definitely climbs faster than my Cannondale does, but I will say that in some cases it feels heavier. That may be because of the wheels I have on it. Again, they are deeper than the wheels I have on my Cannondale. I noticed that on my Cannondale, if I get up to let's say 20-25 miles an hour, I have to keep pushing to maintain that speed, whereas on the Velobuild, I do have to push, but I don't have to push it as hard. It will maintain the speed much longer than the Cannondale does. Over the 500 miles I've ridden it, I've done solo rides, I've done group rides, I've gone riding around places where it's flat, hills, all kinds of things, and I haven't had any major issues. So let's talk about the issues I did have. I guess this isn't a major issue, but in the wind, the bike does get pushed around a little bit. Right now, it's winter time basically, and so sometimes there's some really gusty winds, and I do feel like I'm getting pushed around a lot on this bike. That's no different than any other bike, but I guess also I do have 55mm deep wheels, so that might be part of the problem. The other issue I've had is the bottom bracket. It began to creak a few weeks ago on me. I think that might have been my fault because I didn't put enough grease in there when I put it together. I took it apart, greased it up real good, and it hasn't had any issues since. The other issue I had, within like the first couple weeks I had it, I went out riding and my rear derailleur hanger got bent. That was, again, not the fault of Velobuild or anything else. It was just because a stick or something got caught in my chain and then went around and broke everything. It bent the derailleur hanger and bent the rear derailleur a little bit too. The last issue, which a lot of people have mentioned as well, is getting the brake calipers aligned and mounted properly. It's basically because the mounting surface hasn't been completely flattened or faced properly. So I had some issues with that, but it wasn't very, very hard to resolve. So I'll report back after I've ridden more. Overall, I'm happy with the about $2,000 I spent on the bike, and I would say, considering what you can get from the other major brands for $2,000, it's a pretty good deal. I've checked recently, and like from Trek, you can get I think it's a aluminum Damani with disc brakes and 105 for about $2,000. That's a bike, but I'd rather have a carbon bike with disc brakes and Ultegra than that. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions about the bike or want more information, make sure you leave a comment, and thanks for watching.